Okay guys, so I'm going to make a quick reference here for all of our different flag positions that we use regularly. These have names, and I'm going to talk about them a lot when we do choreography and techniques, so I just wanted you to have this video as a guide for what all these different positions are and how to properly hold the flag in those positions. Of course, any position that we do in our right hand, we can also do with our left hand. So I'm going to show all of them to you on the right hand first, and then quickly go over what they look like on the left. But keep in mind that it's pretty much the same thing, just switch the hand. First position that I want to talk about is one that we use probably the most. This is right shoulder. This is our attention position. We use this to start a lot of routines, and it's a really good starting point for a lot of tricks and techniques. So we use this one quite a lot. For right shoulder, our right hand is the one at the tab. It's all the way up at the tab. We want to reach pretty high with that right arm. There's just a slight bend in my elbow, and it is pulled back towards my ear. My left hand is at the bottom of the pole, flush with the bottom of the marshmallow. We want to cover that marshmallow. I don't want to see it stick out like this. You want to make sure your hand is actually on the rubber cap. Now from the side, I want you to see that I don't have the pole pressed up against my body. It's straight up and down, and there's a small gap in between me and the pole. It's not puffed out like this or pulled back like this. I'm keeping it nice and straight, but also not pressing it up against my body. From the front, you can see right shoulder comes straight down the middle of our body. We don't hold it off to the side on either side. So always make sure it draws a line straight up and down, that your left hand is about at your belly button and your right hand is reaching up all the way as high as it can reach on the pole comfortably. All right, so we're just gonna move around the clock for some of these. The next position I'm gonna talk about real quick is called right present. Anytime I say it's a right present or a left present or a right shoulder or a left shoulder, that just refers to which hand is on the tab and doing the driving. So for a right present, we're simply taking our right shoulder and we're going to bring it down to this angle. The pole is going to draw a nice line from my shoulder to my hip. And of course this is my right shoulder and this is my left hip. And we want to hold it up nice and high. We don't want to slouch it down like this. We want to have this nice boxed elbow. So we're making kind of a triangle shape here. If you can see that, we want to have that nice right triangle. And we have our left hand is at the bottom of the pole still in the same position. We just went from here to here, and we're keeping this elbow tucked in as much as we can while still being comfortable. There's a slight gap in there. It's not pressed up against my body like this. It's comfortable, but it's tucked in. We just simply don't want to stick it out like this. And of course from the side you can see I'm still keeping my nice gap there, and I'm not pushing out one way or the other. It's nice and flat, nice and in that toaster slot. Okay, so the next position, we're just going to continue around the clock here, and we're going to go to right flat. Now obviously we want to keep the pole nice and flat, nice and level. You don't want to let one end tip, and usually the flag end is the one that people tend to do that with because the flag is the heavier end. And you want to keep your body sort of centered with this part of the pole. Use these cheats as a guide to line yourself up in the middle there. You want your arms to be even. Don't pop one up and don't tuck one in or push one out. Again, not pressing up against my body, keeping it about level with my belly button, and keeping a nice light bend in the shoulder, in the elbows, but not too bent and not relaxed like this. We don't want to be holding it down like this. We want a nice slight bend in the elbows. All right, moving around the clock again to right slam. We're simply bringing all this right shoulder to each of these positions. Just moving around the clock. Okay, right slam is going to be the opposite of left present, just like left slam is going to be the opposite of left present. You can see it's pretty much the same position, but the flag is either up or down. So on a present, your flag is up, and on a slam, your flag is down. So same thing here, we're drawing that line between the shoulder and the hip. Obviously this is my left shoulder and this is my right hip. We want to have this nice boxed elbow and this one tucked in again. This position we use a lot. This is going to be a good starting point for a lot of tosses, and a lot of our routines start from right slam as well. This is a a starting position for all kinds of things. All right, so let's talk about upside down. For upside down, we actually are going to move our left hand. We're gonna slide it to this bottom cheat. I'm not sure if this position has a different name. I've just always called it upside down. Our flag is pointing down and our right hand is still at the tab, but the tab is at our belly button right now. And we want to have nice strong elbows on both of these, not popped up or anything. Don't put too much tension in the shoulders, nice and relaxed, and just don't tuck this elbow like this. Just let it be comfortable, both comfortable on this angle. This position we don't use as much, but it is a good position to know. This is a place where we start a lot of tosses, as well as our no-handed spin technique, which is pull, hit, pull, hit. We do those from this position, and you let go with both hands at the same time for those. So that is a good reason to know that. Let's talk about right L. This is a position we use a lot too. Is a really good starting position if you're practicing with a broomstick for everything, because you can't do most of the other positions with the broomstick. It's not long enough. So you can start most of your techniques right here from L. All right, the reason it's called L, as you can see, is because my arm is making sort of an L shape. We have this nice flat forearm, and we're bringing our upper arm straight down our body. We're not pushing out like this, and we're not scrunching it in. See, we want to have that nice L shape where it's comfortable. You want a nice gap in between you and the flag. From the front, you can see that the flag runs straight through my shoulder and straight down. We don't hold it out to the side like this, and we don't hold it in front of us. Make sure it's drawing that line straight down your shoulder. We use this position a lot. This is a good starting position for a lot of things, and it's a comfortable position to hold your flag and keep it out of your way while you're walking around. Let's see, cradle. A cradle position is simply when we rest our flag in our elbow for comfort. We do this usually during parades. You can walk with it like this, comfortable, it rests upon your arm, or you can walk with it like this, it's comfortable, it rests upon your arm. And I'll always address how I want you to cradle, because there's a multitude of different ways you can do it if I tell you to cradle. So all of those positions that we just did on with our right hand, we can also do with our left. I'm just going to go through them really quickly. The explanation is the same, just to switch the hand. So left shoulder, left present, left flat, left slam, and left upside down. And then of course, left L. So these are the positions we're gonna reference the most during choreography. These ones are all in a toaster plane. There are a few others that I'll talk about later that pop out of those planes. And we tend to call those satellite planes or 45s, depending on what sounds cooler at the moment, I guess. If you have any questions about any of those, let me know, and hopefully in the next one we can get to spinning if it ever stops raining.